How to Win Power in Any Group, Machiavelli's Timeless Strategy. Have you ever wondered why some individuals always rise to the top of any group, while others remain overlooked, powerless, or manipulated? Today, I shall reveal to you the timeless strategies to seize influence, command respect, and ensure your position in any circle of men or women. This is not about friendship, nor is it about morality. It is about power itself. Before one dares to grasp the reins of authority, one must first know the terrain. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a forest, where every tree conceals a secret, every shadow holds a possibility, and the path forward is hidden beneath the leaves. This is the world of any group: the office, the council, the guild, or the informal circle of friends. To wield power within such a collection of minds, one must first become a keen observer, a silent strategist, a student of human ambition. For power is never claimed by ignorance, and influence never bows to the unprepared. Begin by studying the people around you. Each individual carries motives, desires, fears, and weaknesses that, if understood, become instruments of your ascent. The ambitious ones are like hidden currents beneath calm waters. They may aid your rise if aligned, or threaten your position if left unchecked. The complacent, the indifferent, are the quiet soy, easily guided, easily manipulated, but never underestimated. Even the loyal, those who claim allegiance to your cause, require scrutiny, for loyalty unchecked can turn brittle in the heat of opportunity. Observe how they speak, how they listen, how they react when challenged or ignored. Every gesture, every glance, every pause in conversation is a whisper of power waiting to be interpreted. Do not rush to judgment, for the first impression is often a disguise. Humans are masters of masking intent, of hiding desire behind smiles and words of friendship. The careful strategist learns to look beyond the mask, to see the currents beneath. Notice who speaks when others fall silent, whose laughter conceals disdain, whose calm demeanor hides ambition. Map the relationships that bind them together, who envies whom, who fears whom, who seeks approval, and who secretly plots. Every alliance, every rivalry, every subtle tension is a clue to the architecture of control. Understanding the group is not merely about individuals. It is about the structure, the invisible chains of influence that dictate who holds sway. Identify the informal leaders, those who command attention without title or recognition. Watch the flow of information, who passes it, who withholds it, who distorts it. Knowledge, after all, is the currency of power. Those who know what others do not can shape decisions, manipulate outcomes, and quietly ascend while others remain distracted by appearances. Timing is another crucial element. In every group, there are moments of opportunity, fleeting seconds when action can shift the balance in your favor. These moments are not always dramatic or loud. Sometimes, they appear as a small concession offered by a superior, a disagreement between allies, or a subtle mistake by a rival. The vigilant strategist recognizes these windows and positions themselves to act decisively. Hesitation, even for a heartbeat, allows the currents of ambition to sweep past, leaving the observer stranded in obscurity. Pay attention also to the culture and unspoken rules that govern behavior. Every group has them: rituals, habits, expectations, and codes that may not be written, but are enforced by social pressure and collective memory. Mastering these rules is as important as mastering the individuals themselves. To act in defiance without understanding is folly. To conform without question is stagnation. The wise manipulator blends into the current while subtly redirecting it toward their advantage. Finally, remember that observation is an art that requires patience and subtlety. Do not act as a spy, obvious in your scrutiny, for that will alert others and breed suspicion. Instead, weave yourself into the tapestry of the group, appearing natural, attentive, engaged, yet always calculating. Keep notes in your mind of behaviors, patterns, and reactions, for this mental ledger will become your map. With each passing day, you build a repository of understanding, a compass to navigate the complex terrain of ambition, loyalty, and rivalry. Power is a mirror, reflecting not your deeds alone, but how others perceive them. Consider this: in any group, what others believe about you is far more potent than what you actually are. Strength, skill, and knowledge hold little value if they remain unseen or misunderstood. The eyes of your peers, their judgments, and their whispers construct a reality more powerful than your intentions. To wield influence is to master this mirror, to craft the image that others cannot ignore, the presence that commands attention, the reputation that precedes your actions. Begin by understanding that perception is neither accidental nor spontaneous. It is shaped deliberately. Every word you speak, every gesture you make, and even the silence you maintain contributes to the story others tell themselves about you. A single confident glance can convey authority, while a moment of hesitation can sow doubt. Learn to measure your expressions, your tone, your posture. Let others see calm where there is tension, certainty where there may be hesitation, decisiveness where uncertainty lingers. The mind of the observer is easily convinced by appearances, for they often seek order in the chaos of human interaction, and you must provide that order through the careful construction of your persona. Influence grows when perception is aligned with aspiration. If you wish to command, you must first appear worthy of command. This is not a call to deceit, but to strategic presentation. Display competence in matters that matter to the group. Show loyalty where it earns trust. Demonstrate foresight where others falter. These acts, when observed consistently, create a reputation that acts as a silent ally. People will defer to you, not always because of your authority, but because their perception tells them you deserve it. Fear and admiration are powerful tools, yet they must be wielded with discretion. Fear can enforce obedience, but if it becomes hatred, it destroys influence. Admiration inspires loyalty, yet over-reliance on it can breed complacency or manipulation by those seeking to exploit your favor. The skillful strategist blends these forces, creating a presence that commands attention, inspires respect, and subtly deters opposition. Notice the reactions of those around you: who leans closer when you speak, who hesitates to contradict you, who seeks your counsel repeatedly. These are the signals that indicate your growing influence, the invisible markers of authority forming around you. Information is another instrument of perception. Share knowledge selectively, revealing insight to some while withholding it from others. Those who see you as knowledgeable and discerning elevate your status within the group. But caution is necessary, for overexposure invites scrutiny, and apparent omniscience can breed envy. Timing your revelations, letting your insights arrive when most needed or most impactful, magnifies the perception of your competence far beyond your actual actions. Silence, too, is a tool of influence. Speak too often and you dilute the power of your words. Speak too rarely and you risk irrelevance. Observe, listen, and let others reveal themselves first. In their words, in their reactions, you find the threads of ambition, fear, and desire. When you finally act or speak, your words carry weight because they are measured, deliberate, and aligned with the perception you have cultivated. Do not underestimate the subtle art of suggestion. People are guided more by implication than by instruction, by persuasion than by command. A well-placed remark, a carefully framed question, a casual compliment, all can shape the thoughts and decisions of those around you without revealing your intent. Influence is most potent when invisible, when the observer believes they are acting freely, yet their actions have been nudged, guided, or shaped entirely by your design. Finally, understand that perception is dynamic. It shifts with every interaction, every rumor, every act of the group. You must constantly refine, adjust, and reinforce the image you wish to project. Guard against complacency, for even a brief lapse can erode influence. Those who maintain their presence with deliberate attention, who manipulate perception as skillfully as a general maneuvers troops, are the ones who rise, command, and remain unchallenged. No ruler ascends alone. Alliances, friendships, and loyalties are but tools, temporary bridges to your supremacy. In the pursuit of power, few accomplishments are achieved in isolation. Human ambition is entwined with networks, connections, and unspoken allegiances. To navigate any group successfully, one must not only understand individuals but also the relationships that bind them, the loyalties that unite or divide them, and the opportunities that emerge from these shifting connections. The wise strategist recognizes that alliances are not bonds of sentiment, but instruments of influence, fragile yet essential, to be formed, nurtured, and dissolved with precision. Observe those around you and consider carefully who can serve your ascent. Some will provide strength, others information, and still others protection. Some may be ambitious rivals whose temporary cooperation is necessary, while others may be allies whose loyalty is convenient but expendable. In every case, an alliance is a means, not an end. Treat these connections as chess pieces, each with a role, each with a moment to strike. The key is discernment, recognizing potential utility and anticipating eventual divergence of interest. Trust but measured is the currency of strategic alliances. Blind loyalty is dangerous, for even the most devoted can betray when it serves their advantage. Instead, observe and test. Offer opportunities, small responsibilities, and confidential information, and note how your potential allies respond. Do they honor your trust, or do they seize it for personal gain? By understanding their behavior, you learn not only about their intentions but also the limits of your own security within the alliance. In this delicate balance, patience is a weapon. Hasty trust is a trap that the ambitious often fall into. Opportunism is the handmaiden of strategy. A keen eye for timing, a readiness to act when circumstances shift, distinguishes the victor from the perpetual observer. Watch for fractures in alliances, rivalries that flare, mistakes that weaken positions. These moments, though fleeting, offer openings for advancement. Seize them with decisiveness, for hesitation allows others to occupy the space where power might have been claimed. The careful strategist does not create chaos recklessly, but rather identifies where chaos already brews and positions themselves to capitalize upon it. Influence within an alliance is also a subtle art. One must appear cooperative and loyal while quietly steering outcomes in one's own favor. Praise when appropriate, challenge when necessary, and manipulate perception so that others believe they are acting of their own volition. Those who feel guided without realizing it are the most loyal servants of ambition, for they remain unaware of the hand that moves them. The adept strategist shapes not only relationships, but also the decisions and desires of those within the circle. Beware, however, of over-reliance on any single connection. Alliances are transient, and loyalty is often conditional. Circumstances shift, ambitions collide, and the once useful partner can become a rival. Diversify your relationships, cultivate multiple channels of influence, and always maintain a measure of independence. The true architect of power is never beholden, never trapped, and never reliant on a single bridge for ascent. Flexibility is not weakness, it is survival, and it is a precondition for enduring authority. Opportunism also demands subtlety. Bold action may succeed in moments of weakness, but recklessness can provoke resistance and lasting enmity. Timing, discretion, and understanding of consequences are essential. Recognize when a move will advance your position quietly versus when it may trigger backlash. The strategist operates like a shadow, unseen in preparation, invisible in plotting, yet unmistakable in execution. By moving with calculated precision, one ensures that opportunity becomes advantage, and advantage becomes dominance. Observe carefully the outcomes of your alliances and the shifts they produce. Every act of cooperation, every negotiation, every concession carries lessons. Learn which strategies increase loyalty, which inspire envy, and which provoke caution. The dynamics of alliances are never static. They evolve with time, circumstance, and perception. Mastery of these dynamics allows the ambitious to convert temporary partnerships into enduring influence, and to pivot seamlessly when new opportunities arise. To secure your power is to walk a fine line between affection and dread. In any group, the wielding of influence is not simply a matter of force, nor of charm alone. The successful aspirant understands that people respond to incentives and deterrence, to admiration and intimidation, to reward and consequence. Power is fragile if mismanaged, and yet it can be strengthened with careful attention to the psychology of those around you. The balance of fear and favor is not a formula of equality, but a subtle calibration of respect, loyalty, and obedience, measured to ensure that none rise against you while many remain devoted. Favor, when applied strategically, binds hearts and minds. Reward loyalty, acknowledge contributions, and create a sense of gratitude that inspires devotion. When those under your influence believe their success, recognition, or security is tied to your benevolence, they are more likely to align their ambitions with yours. Yet favor must never become weakness. Overindulgence, empty praise, or indiscriminate generosity breeds contempt or entitlement. Those who expect reward without merit grow emboldened and may challenge your authority. Thus, favor is most effective when it is earned, calculated, and delivered at the precise moment when it magnifies loyalty without undermining your position. Fear, on the other hand, is a force that commands immediate attention and caution. It is not cruelty for cruelty's sake, but a subtle reminder that authority carries consequences. Punish disloyalty decisively and visibly, ensuring that others understand the cost of defiance. Yet fear must be measured carefully. Excessive terror breeds hatred, rebellion, or secret plotting. It erodes loyalty and fosters resentment. The skillful strategist instills fear in a way that enforces respect while leaving room for calculated admiration. Fear without balance is tyranny. Fear combined with favor becomes enduring influence. Observation is key to mastering this balance. Watch how people react to your decisions, to the distribution of reward and consequence. Notice who is emboldened by your generosity, who is cautious under your scrutiny, and who seeks to test your limits. These responses reveal not only character, but also the dynamics of power within your sphere. By calibrating your actions to these signals, you shape behavior, channel ambition, and maintain control without overt confrontation. Perception amplifies both fear and favor. People respond not only to reality, but to what they believe about you. Cultivate an image of decisiveness and authority. Let it be known that loyalty is recognized and rewarded, while betrayal carries undeniable consequences. The mind of the observer is guided as much by story and reputation as by facts. Those who master the narrative surrounding their actions manipulate the group without constant exertion of energy, for perception alone will enforce alignment and deter dissent. The interplay between fear and favor also influences strategy in alliances and rivalries. With allies, reward their contributions and remind them of the value you provide. With rivals, let your presence alone inspire caution. Subtle warnings, controlled pressure, and calculated displays of strength keep potential challengers restrained. The strategist understands that fear need not be vocalized to be effective, and favor need not be lavished to be persuasive. Both operate through perception, timing, and subtle reinforcement. Flexibility in applying fear and favor is essential. The same individual may require admiration in one circumstance and caution in another. Group dynamics shift, alliances evolve, and ambitions rise and fall. Those who fail to adjust risk losing influence, as rigid application signals weakness or predictability. The true master of power is a constant observer, attuned to the shifting currents of desire, envy, loyalty, and fear, adjusting their methods with precision and discretion. Finally, understand that fear and favor are intertwined. One reinforces the other, creating a cycle of control and influence. Favor inspires loyalty, loyalty commands respect, and respect makes fear effective without turning to hatred. Fear reinforces the value of favor, ensuring that rewards are appreciated and consequences heeded. The balance is not static. It is a living, dynamic force that requires vigilance, attention, and the constant assessment of the minds and hearts that surround you. Asterisk, a power is neither given nor permanent. It is claimed, maintained, and constantly tested. In every group, the currents of ambition, loyalty, and envy flow unseen, and only those who observe, calculate, and act with deliberate intent can navigate them successfully. You have learned to understand terrain, to shape perception, to forge alliances, and to balance fear with favor. Yet knowledge alone is not enough. It is the consistent, disciplined application of these principles that separates the passive from the powerful, the observer from the ruler. Remember, in the intricate game of influence, hesitation is defeat, and inaction is surrender. To rise is to act with precision, patience, and foresight, ever aware that the world watches, judges, and reacts to every move you make. Power belongs not to the timid, but to those who master the art of strategy in silence and strike decisively when the moment demands.